We're back. We had an internet collapse. I don't know what it was, but we're going to jump straight into the centering. This is a beautiful place to actually just center, be ready for the teaching that's coming today. I'm going to ask you all to close down your eyes. I want you to first of all relax your belly, let your belly go. And as you breathe in, let your shoulders drop. Let your spine straighten. Allow your focus to drift to your third eye. Begin to tune into the sound. Begin to focus on your breath as you breathe in and out gently, filling your breath, your belly first with your breath. Allowing the breath to move through your diaphragm up into the back of your chest. And then letting the breath go as if it is a wave peaking in the ocean, reaching its height of the wave, and then just releasing, relaxing, letting go. Taking a few cleansing breaths like this, just to feel the relaxation in your body, allowing your breath to melt away any tension in your neck, your jaw, your shoulders, your hip area. In a moment, I'm going to invite you to bring a rhythm to your breath. This rhythm will be in through the nose for 4 and out through the mouth for 8. And you can purse your lips a little bit as if you're breathing through a straw. Focusing on relaxing with each breath, no force. And keeping that beautiful filling of the belly first, rising through the diaphragm and filling the back of the chest before letting the breath go. As you let go with your breath, I want you to find the version of yourself beyond the contraction of your fear, the open version of yourself that can hold more, the version of yourself in frequency that is already in some future reality that is in fact already existing in the quantum field. The version that your next timeline requires. We're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep breathing. Keep relaxing. Keep opening keep that 4 by 8. In through the nose for 4, out for the nose, out through the mouth for 8. Feel your cells awakening. Feel your own life force moving through your body. Allow your body to move if it wants to move. Keep breathing. Keep focusing through your third eye. Allow your breath to keep your mind clear of all thought. This is becoming, quantum becoming, where your frequency is the guide. Few more breaths. Anything that you are feeling in your body is completely normal. Just keep relaxing, keep allowing, be here now. And now take one big deep breath in. Bring the air up into the crown of your head and hold it just for a moment. Feel it. And now let it go with a big sigh of good feelings. Relax all the way down to the bottom of your breath and hold your breath. Welcome to the space. The quantum space where all realities are existing simultaneously. Be here now. Hold your breath. If you feel an urgency to breathe, go beyond it just a little bit and then take a little sip in of air and blow the air back out again. And hold your breath. Keep relaxing. Keep trusting. This is the sacred nothingness where all opportunities are possible. Again, if you feel the urgency to breathe, go beyond it. Go beyond your comfort zone just a little bit. As it is outside the comfort zone that magic happens. Hold your breath. And then take another little sip in if you need to. Blowing the air back out again. Going deeper. It is only in the depth, in the darkness, in the space, in the void that our truth is really connected with. Feel your truth in this depth, the truth of your creative power. Allow that power to build in the center of your body, your power center, your core, your sacral area. Feel its energy. Go beyond your comfort zone again, holding, releasing, relaxing, trusting. And when you can hold your breath no longer, squeeze your pelvic floor and take one deep breath in. Following the energy up your spine to the crown of your head where you'll hold it. Drop your chin, squeeze your eyebrows together, hold your breath. From the depths, we rise always to illumination. See the light. Hold your breath. Like a prayer, your energy, your frequency creates form. And then allow that frequency to spill out of you with a sigh of good feelings. Letting your breath go. Sitting in the energy that you have created, the frequency that you have become in 10 short minutes. Be here now again. Be here now in peace, in gratitude, in appreciation, and in love. Feel that love in your heart space. Be here now in your true I am, which is coherence, balance, and unconditional love. In this frequency, life rearranges itself around you. Life becomes balanced, peaceful, and abundant with love. Staying here for another moment, fully arrived. And then slowly bringing a little bit of movement to your body. Wiggling your fingers, maybe placing your hands upon your eyes. Releasing them and coming back into the room. So that is what this is about today. When you can hold yourself in that frequency of unconditional love, that is where you suddenly start choosing you, right? You start choosing who you truly are. You start choosing what you want to believe, not the things that you have been conditioned. And this is why the principle of the tarot card, the Hanged Man, is such a profound, in fact, all of the tarot, actually, all of those major arcade, I'm not sure what you call them, cards, like they hold such profound principle in quantum law. The Hanged Man, the principle of reversal, turning your whole life literally upside down from fear to love, because that's where most of us have been conditioned, is to fear. And that's why we control things, right? And when we can begin, as we did in day 1 of the frequency challenge with the 7x7 method on the Awakened Wealth app, I will put the link to the app and that method in the comments underneath this video. I'm not touching anything right now in case everything disappeared. I'm staying right here now to talk to you, but I will put that link in because that's where we started day 1 of the challenge, the 7x7 method, because it teaches you subtly these principles of reversal, release, and remembering who you are, right? Instead of carrying the tension and the stress of something that's happened all the way through your day, taking it with you into the next day and then creating that loop, when you pause 7 times a day for 7 minutes to do a neurosomatic process like we did just there that makes you feel fucking wonderful, you are releasing and you are remembering who you are and you are coming back into coherence. So we started the challenge with this simple but profound practice of the 7x7 method that just begins to get you looking in instead of looking out. Because that's what we're doing, especially when we step onto the journey of transformation. We go, okay, I see what the problem is outside of me. How do I fix it? Which coach is going to give me the strategy to make that thing change? Which advice is going to give me the way to make this thing change? You know, when actually it is us that has to be the change, right? And it literally comes to moving away from the fear to choosing what we love. And that's why we brought this beautiful little other tool from the QuantumLeap method in week 1 that we call the Joy GPS. This, again, super simple but profound way of just taking notice, becoming more aware and present in your day-to-day of what actually does light you up. All of these things that you've forgotten, right? Because you're so busy trying to change everything out here and try and, you know, not create the things that you're scared to death of, which might be running out of money, losing a relationship, not having your hands on the steering wheel. You forget to notice the things that actually give you the vibration that you just got there in that practice, that peaceful feeling, that fulfilled feeling, that coherent feeling, right? So we gave you that beautiful tool to start noticing so that you can bring these things in to your daily life. Now, week 2, we really had to get into the crux of that. It's like, how do you begin? I mean, it's great, right? You're in a challenge, and Solar and Lee have said, just do a bit more things of the stuff you like, Joe. And Joe's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that on week 1. But what about when you start, Joe, to try and choose that all the time? When you've got a to-do list on your desk, you've got responsibilities over here, you've got obligations over there, and you've got expectations everywhere, right? Your own, maybe your partner's, society's. How, in the intensity, do you still keep choosing joy? Because what happens? And I can't look at the comments because I'm scared to move. But Lee might be on YouTube. But talk to us right now. I invite you to share with us what happens in your body when you start to think about choosing joy on a regular basis, choosing love over fear. Lee, what happens? What happens in the body?
Well, initially, at the very thought, like you just said, the old stories and framework comes up, right, and says, oh no, you can't, because we've got the kids here, or we've got to get this done for work, or we've got deadlines to meet, and you think that there's no way I can find 5 minutes in my day. but then you just get stressed. So then when you do allow yourself that 5 minutes constantly throughout the day, you tend to approach each situation with a little bit more calm, a little bit more open-mindedness, and you don't get pigeonholed into maybe a resolution for something that is not suitable. You're more able to see different ways forward.
Yeah, but the issue is the stress, because the minute that the stress kicks in, you feel it in your chest, your breath shortens, you get that kind of nauseous feeling, your mind kicks in, because this is really important. We taught this in the frequency challenge. Your thoughts are impulses from the nervous system. And this is why mindset work doesn't work, because you're charging in, trying to change your thoughts when they're not originating. They're not the root. Your nervous system is the root, and your nervous system is triggered by your environment. We are ultimately animals, right? We're animals with emotional brains. And that means that we actually act like animals all of the time. And we see this, right? We see people, and I include myself in this as well, back when I was less conscious, stuck in the animal instinct of feed yourself, fuck, and make sure that, you're alive each day. Like, literally, that's where we can get to when we are ruled by a nervous system, because that's what it's trying to do. It's a hierarchy of the Maslow hierarchy, is hierarchy of needs, right? We know this stuff, but we forget that it's the nervous system that we have to rewire for the thoughts to stop, for the mind to be clear. Because when the mind can be clear, we can work on releasing the old identity, which is why with the Quantum Leap method, we don't start in your trauma. We don't start with the question of what is that thing that has, made your life horrible. It doesn't matter, actually, because it's the nervous system that's holding the information of everything, because it won't just be one thing. It will be thousands of things, and they will be from small things up to huge things, right? We have the story. My parents, my dad beat me. My dad lost his job. I got raped. We think we know why we are stuck, and we hold on to that, but actually it's so many things, so many layers. So we don't start there in the Quantum Leap method. We don't start in the mind. We start in the body. We allow the body to start telling us what's really going on, which is profound, right? This is, and it's two ways. And I love this. And Lee will be like, I hate this. And anybody who's ever been through the Quantum Leap Intensive will be like, I really hate this. When we allow the body to start showing us what's really holding us back, we start seeing our own patterns. We start seeing quantum contraction in action, in the moment, because truth is where it shows up, eh? Isn't that right? It's like you're there, and this is why, yeah, go on.
Yeah, and it was like you said at the beginning, it was very confronting, because it shows you things that you have no idea where they are or what they are, where they come from, any of that. And you just, and then you look back, and like you said, you see the patterns that you've been repeating for however long. And it's quite confronting. Now that I've done it a little bit more, it's, I welcome that, because I know it's helping me shine brighter. So I welcome those insights as through each day. But at the very start, it was like,
it's the squeeze to ease. It's like, if you can feel the squeeze and notice the pattern and change the pattern, then the ease always follows that. The thing is that when we're not in a container, and we're not being held, and we're not being guided, and we're not being supported, and we're not being reassured, we actually just allow ourselves to contract. We collapse, right? So it's like, we get the collapse, but we don't get the identity death collapsing with the collapse. That's what we want. We want the parts of us that are not true to come down. The tower moment, the tower, right? Now, what happens when the tower comes down within ourselves? Think of it like your scaffolding. Your identity is like a scaffolding. It's everything that's held you up, isn't it? Your name, who you are, what you're good at, what bloody teacher Sue told you you're good at, and dad wanted you to be good at, and society needed you to be good at. All this is your scaffolding of this identity. They say that people have midlife crises. People don't have midlife crises. They fucking wake up. They're like, no, I've had 40 years of this shit. And actually, something has awakened me to the fact that this scaffolding needs to come down. This is not who I am. I'm not happy. I've got this void inside. And I've been trying to fill it up with, you know, the wife, the husband, the children, the jobs, the money, the holidays, the car. Still there, right? It's horrible. It's a horrible feeling. But I think many of us, if we're honest with ourselves, have felt that feeling of the void within, and nothing will fill it until you turn inwards and you say, actually, I'm seeking to feel whole within me through bringing all of me through me, right? So this is where we began to move into week 3, and I thought that was beautiful. Universe had a completely other plan, because that's the week I had my crash. But you know, and that was part of my squeeze to ease as well, because a pattern was showing up for me. And it's funny because I've been mentioning it to Lee, I think for probably the beginning of November, because November is for me an anniversary that's quite big. And I think I'd actually said to the words to Lee, I think this is about me letting in love. I think I'm resisting it. Right? It's a pattern that I've resisted probably my whole life. And I said, I think I need to go through the lens process on this. This is the process, the somatic trauma transcendence. But I didn't go through with it, right? Because I was busy doing other shit. And that's what happens. The tower falls down. I had an accident that has absolutely given me no choice but to let love in, to let myself be held. And that's the thing with your patterns. You can try to keep patterning, but at some point something's going to fall down and you're going to have to face it. And part of the quantum leap intensive is not getting to those crisis moments, right? It's not getting to the point where it's a big, you know, traumatic thing happening. It's like, let's learn to listen. So week 3, you know, we'd got you to this point of learning to listen a bit more deeply to who you truly are, the childhood innocence, which is, I'm going to run at that. And I'm just going to climb that tree. I'm going to pick this thing up. I'm going to eat that thing. I'm going to stick that thing up my nose, because we're not holding the fear and the conditioning of what might happen. Again, another thing I used to say to my clients, they'd be like, oh my God, what if this happens? And I get this evil smile on my face and be like, oh, what if it does? Play with that reality. You're creating it. Everything you fear will come true. It will, because you're fearing it, because you're holding it in energy, and it has to match on the outside. So if you're fearing not making money, you're not going to make money. If you're fearing not ever meeting somebody, you're never going to meet somebody. If you're fearing your husband having an affair, he's going to have a fucking affair. It's all, you're creating all of it. You are literally the creative power, right? So let's use that. Let's live in the pleasure principle. I heard Vishani Lakhani, I don't know what his name is, Vishani Lakhiani, the Mind Valley guru, that he's such a smart guy. I heard him the other day. He said, I don't do affirmations. I wake up in the morning and I ask myself questions. I don't know how my body's looking this good. Like, wow. I don't know, how can I have this much money in my bank? He reframes it. So he's not trying to convince himself. He's talking like it's already real. Does that make sense? Yep. And that's what we have to do. We have to talk and act like it's already real. So that pleasure principle, we have to start living by it.
But we have feeling to start it too, right? You have to feeling not just words said to the mirror, but feeling that at your core.
Yes, that's right. All through you, right? And that's why as we go deeper into the you're so welcome to share your journey through this, Lee, but as we go deeper into the Quantum Leap Intensive, I introduce you more into the somatic work, right? Because that's where we feel is in our bodies, and that's where we notice that we start to notice that we're locked up. I also was very locked up You know, I didn't want to. I remember being first introduced to some somatic work. I couldn't even turn on the camera. I was mortified. I couldn't move with a whole room of people on Zoom watching, you know. I never used to dance. I never used to sing. I never used to express. And that's the thing, right? That's why we don't allow the pleasure principle, because we don't think we're worthy of it. And that's deep. And it's sad, but it's the truth. I'd say for many, many people, we don't feel deserving of love, of appreciation, of being held, of being seen. We fear all the other stuff: judgment, loss, abandonment, rejection. And that's the wounds we've got to get into. And it's the wounds we ultimately, no matter what your trauma is, they come through the Quantum Leap Intensive, eh?
Yeah. And like those things you just mentioned, the love, the being held, you might think you want them, but at our core, that's where the disconnect is, right? We all say we want to be loved, we want to be held, and everyone would believe that. But at our core, that's where the disbelief is, right? And that's where our nervous system is not communicating with what we're thinking, and we have that disconnect, and that's what's manifesting in front of us. If you're lacking somewhere, you might be sitting there thinking, saying, yes, I want to be in a relationship, I want love, I want all that money, because mentally you are thinking that, but at your core, it's, when you get into this course, and if you become a guide or just do the course for yourself, you'll see that there is things in there that you have picked up along the way that is what people call the blocks, right, that are holding you back, that you probably don't even realize are there.
That's right. And like we said in week 3, you can't serve two masters. You can't serve the soul and the mind at the same time. You got to choose. You got to go all in one way or the other. And this is where we're clearing. We called the challenge, the frequency challenge, wealth is not your purpose. Because even though most of us will say out loud, oh, I'm doing this because I want to help people, I'm doing this because I'm good at it, ultimately, when you go right to the core of it, you're doing it because you need to make some money. And that's where we really started to ask the question, didn't we, in the challenge? Well, if you weren't doing it for money, would you be doing it? What are the woulds and what are the shoulds? I should be doing it because I need the money, right?
And it's not a bad thing either, right? If you do find yourself saying that you would be doing something else if it wasn't for money, like, it is a part of the society we live in. It's not necessarily a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just a thing, right? Which is another thing you learn through this course.
But it's
to
the
not
paradox.
attach a meaning one way or the other. It just is. So
everything is.
Yeah.
And the paradox is, when you let the money go, and this, again, you're absolutely right, when you let attachment to everything go, because you become so unshakable in yourself, you become so filled with worth. My dog's crying. He's in the dog box for barking. Sorry, Harry. When you get to that energy of I am, and that's it, right? You stop attaching to the human, you stop attaching to the house, you stop attaching to the job, you stop attaching to the label. It could all just go, because it all is the same thing. You here in your soul, the heart is the gateway to the soul. Like when you dropped into the space in that meditation, it's all you anyway. It's all available. It's all already there, right? And you begin to know that. And so what happens? You stop placing conditions on love, and love comes to you. Now, love might not come in the packages that you've been conditioned that love is going to come in, right? So it's a journey to understanding, what true abundance is. And again, this is where a container is so powerful, where you're with other people going through the same thing. You can talk about stuff. You can ask questions. We have those monthly connections where this stuff comes to light, right? And we share and we all feel held. And yeah, and this is where we were about to jump into week 4 before my accident, which is about becoming the embodiment, because you begin to live in a completely different way. You're magnetic. You don't, I mean, I've shared with you, haven't I, where, you know, I've only had to think of something and the next minute it's there. It's just insane. I looked at my pergola. I have a pergola, and you know, I wanted, was it the pergola or was it the veggie garden? It was something to do with the garden, and I literally went into the feeling, the imagination that it was already done. You know, I was planting, there were things were growing, and I'd also had a big session in the gym, and so my mind said, "Oh, go get a massage because, you know, it's going to do you good, right?" And I kind of was like, "Oh, yeah, the garden, the body, okay, mind, I'll go get the massage." I always can walk into this massage place and just literally go straight into the chamber and get massaged. That day, the woman said, "Oh, sorry, we're full." I was like, "What?" You're never full. Ever. Like, what's going on? She said, "Sorry, you're going to have to come back tomorrow." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I was like baffled as to, you know, what was happening. And so I felt into my soul. I was like, well, what should I do now? And I felt drawn to go into the next town. And again, I used my mind. I was like, oh, well, I've got my water bottle I need filling. So, oh, yeah, I'll head into the next town. And the place where I have my water filled, I'm not connected to water that's potable here yet. So I have to get these big 20-litre barrel thingies. And the place that I go to, they had a seedling sale outside. And it was everything I'd imagined. Zucchinis, even purple tomatoes, the heirloom ones, cucumbers, capsicum. And I spent all my massage money on a whole truck worth of, and now I've got this beautiful garden growing out there, right? So this is where you get to magnetism, alignment with your soul frequency. And this is the 1 degree off destiny correction, because, you know, your reality isn't out there somewhere in some possibility. You know, we talk about the quantum staircase in the course, where you, in traditional coaching, in any sort of you know, mindset work, set the vision, right? The vision, it gets put on a pedestal up here, and then there's these steps that you have to take to get there. Well, the quantum method collapses those stairs. Your reality is literally in here. It's that close, and all you need to do is shift something within to align with it, right? You become it. You shift in frequency. So it's powerful, right? Is there anything you want to add to that, Lee?
No. I remember that story of you saying about the seedlings and how you got all of that. But that's the power, isn't it? And it is. It's not attaching to the outcome. You weren't attached either to any of the steps or anything. It was just like, yep, this is, you know, like you'd mentioned before that you wanted a garden, but sort of it was, you know, probably not a high priority because it, you know, you hadn't started it yet. You hadn't bought the seeds until that moment, till you were led there by the universe or by your higher self.
No attachment. We swap attachment for intention. Feeling, like you said it before, you were like, it's in your body, you feel it. Another one was September. I really felt it. I was like, I want to go on holiday. I really want to take the kids somewhere, you know. I wasn't attached to where, I wasn't attached to how. The next morning I opened Facebook and there was a post at the top of the feed that said, we're looking for somebody to house sit. We've got this beautiful mansion down in Gisborne. We've got a Briard dog. I've got a Briard dog, the one crying downstairs. And we're looking for a dog sitter, like a house dog sitter. And I reached out and I said, hey, you know, I have a Briard too. Can I come with my girls and the dog? I got a week's holiday in the most beautiful place. I paid nothing towards the house, you know, the accommodation. So do you see how abundance comes in different ways? The getting there, and this is what we're going to start talking about now, is how you let go of how, you let go of fear, You let go of all this programming that you've had. There's 2 levels of programming. This is really important. There's the level of programming that you have got through your experiences, and then there's the level of programming that is the gravity, right? So years ago, people used to levitate. It's documented. Levitation, humans lifting off the ground, is documented. And then science proved gravity. And guess what? People stopped levitating. That is what we're dealing with in the second level of conditioning is, okay, it's not just the stuff that I've picked up from my parents or from this experience that I've had here, there, and the other. This is the shit that feels like gravity. It is the way that it is. This is how you stay alive. This is how you are respected. This is how you are seen as successful. That stuff is actually really hard to release. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And it comes up, doesn't it? And it comes up, and it holds on a little bit harder.
A little bit tighter. Yeah.
Yeah, which is again where, you know, the quantum leap method takes you through the quantum becoming, right? So there is a quantum archetype of you. We do this right at the start. We use testing tools to really identify where you are energetically, where you are with some of your beliefs. And it's like we're breaking down, not in one big go, but across a good period of time, usually 6 to 12 months, your survival identity, your social identity, and then your frequency identity as well, right? So is there anything you want to add in there from your perspective, you know?
Well, understanding that about yourself makes it easier to navigate through the day, right? Because you understand then what situations and scenarios align with you, or, you know, like for me, confrontation growing is a difficult thing. So understanding that, I don't need to put myself in those situations. I can try and again, understanding the nervous system and how we all work, I can navigate around that. I don't have to put myself in those uncomfortable situations. So understanding your archetype is, you know, not just something to know. It helps you to walk your day.
You're right. It's like you begin seeing things very differently and having the power to see things very differently as well, and take the tools that you're learning into, like we say, like you don't just do the quantum leap intensive to guide others. It's a personal mastery thing as well, because you can start to see, oh, okay, that's not me. That's not about me. That doesn't feel like me, you know? And then you have the tools to be able to stay aligned with the frequency identity. What am I talking about with this frequency identity? So this is the principle of the miracle frequency. The miracle frequency is your true soul's blueprint. It is when you align with that. I just literally got turned on. It's that. When it sits here, it sits at the base. It's your kundalini. When it is coiled up at the base of your spine, this fire, right? And of course, we've seen this move through the ancient Egyptian mythology, through to the Asian, through to, it's like it's been morphed, but it's the same principle. There is an energy, a seat of energy in the core of you. It's who you are. And when you switch it on, when you wake it up and you allow it to move, and it moves because it's in love, right? Again, coming the Shiva Shakti, Ida Pingala, your nadis through the body, all the principles, whatever seat you're sitting on in whatever part of the world, the principle is union between your masculine, your feminine energy. Your masculine holding this beautiful, solid, unshakable, like temple for your feminine energy to love. And in that love, unconditional love, this energy rises and it does the clearing for you. So your path, as you do this work, accelerates. You have to do less to burn through some of these blocks. They're burning through you energetically. You're clearing the way. In ancient Egyptian alchemy, you know, in the ancient Egyptian principle, the energetic template of the body, based on our sacred geometry, there is pathways of this energy where we're learning certain principles, emotional, what's the word? Milestones. It's happening for you. And the miracle frequency is the magnetism, right? As this energy is moving, your frequency is rising into this unconditional love, and you're pulling in the same to match you. And this is where I was saying, you know, my biggest thing, I guess, this year has been, how do you fully receive that? It's where I really understood that I needed, I don't like to use that word, I wanted Lee to step in and hold the Quantum Leap Intensive so that I could fully focus on what I do love, which is actually birthed from this journey that I've taken myself, right? So the Quantum Leap Intensive is, yes, we are teaching you, we decode the nervous system, the biology of belief, quantum physics, so you understand it, and then you can let it go, and you can start to come into your body. If you've ever listened to a Joe Dispenza meditation, or you've ever been to one of his retreats, it's this stuff, right? It's learning how to actually become those feelings, because all of the low density energy, the trauma's cleared from the body, preventing those feelings that he's talking about. Because it's great to lie in a Joe Dispenza meditation and feel the space and feel the safety and feel the trust and feel the love, but do you? Or do you come out of that meditation and do you take the same actions and make the same decisions as you did the day before, because you're stuck in your fear energy, right? So just to, before we start to round towards a close, I certainly in the last 2 years have been a woman whose, I guess, gifts were waking up through this work faster than my life could hold it, actually. And it's been beautiful, but it's been the most challenging thing that I've ever experienced. I've been so grateful to have the most incredible cohort in the Quantum Leap Intensive as I've been going through this activation, and they've come through it with me, and they've grown in their individual ways and stepped into the most incredible leadership, both Lee and the person in his cohort, in his pod, his practice pod, we call it practice pods, Phoenix. She's blown my mind. Both of you have blown my mind. It's beautiful, right? So, you know, I wasn't sure where I was going with the Quantum Leap Intensive. Could I keep it going? Could I relaunch it? It got into this, I was obviously holding what we'd got, but not opening anymore, because I couldn't even hold what I was going through. The only way I can describe what I was going through is people became see-through. I started to have this knowing that I've always had a claircognizance of some level, but it just went to another level. Nobody could tell me a lie anymore. It was just, I could see into people's future just by looking at them. And my kids are just loving it now, because, you know, I've told them stuff over the last 2 years and it's coming true. And they're like, how did you do that? And I don't know, right? It's like you awaken your gifts through the Quantum Leap Intensive by clearing the fear, right? I've got to this point where I'm only navigating with my intuition. And if I don't, my soul kicks my ass. My channeling has tuned up like a radio. You know, when you're between channels, it used to be like that. Now it's clear. It's a clear sound. My body has started speaking in frequency rather than in words. I can feel people's truth without them saying a thing. I can feel timelines. And so that is changing everything. I was listening to, just this week, listening to songs and being like, wow, those lyrics just, they're landing differently, completely differently. Hearing people's teachings and they're completely different. This is what happens when you shift frequency. This is only a shift in frequency, right? Your body is frequency. You are frequency. It goes through these shifts where it lifts in frequency. There is, now I'm not giving a hierarchy on that. There is not higher, there is not lower, there is not ahead, there is not behind, there is only now. It's all happening simultaneously. There might be your past life walking around in the same reality as you, and you just don't realize it yet, right? It's crazy. Quantum theory is crazy, and they're starting to prove it now. And it's beautiful. But at the same time, when you're in this work, you don't need it proved to you by a scientific study, because you know it's true, right? Because you become the creator of everything. You know you're the creator of everything.
You're experiencing it, you're feeling it, you're living it, right?
Yes, you feel the pull of destiny, you know, at the edges of your life. And you trust that it's walking you to places that you've got no absolute clue why you're even there or why you're heading in that direction, but you don't care anymore, because you know, like, you just know, you feel the pulse of your own heartbeat, and you realize that it is the pulse of the earth itself, and that's all that matters. That's all you listen to. This is embodiment. And so because I'd finally let go of the fear that was trying to pull me back to who I used to be, into, you know, the person who people expected me to be, the identity that kept everybody else comfortable. For such a long time, I let that fear rule my entire life. It dimmed my light. It shut down my truth. It swallowed my voice. And it used to make me consistently be in this battle between my heart and my soul, my heart and my mind. Logic. The logic needs to make this make sense, right? And when I stopped and I fully surrendered, that's what this year has birthed. A beautiful new path of the mystery school. I'm calling it the musician path, where we are connecting more into the somatics and the sound and the frequency medicine. And it's like a remembering. That's the only way I can describe it. It's always been my passion, is to help people align with their soul. I used to call myself the soul girl coach. You know, I want you to, through this Quantum Leap Intensive, remember why you're really here and be able to follow that path, okay? I want you to feel it, and it's incredible when you feel it. So going into 2026, this is us, you know, aligning with our destiny, aligning with our individual lineage, and really stepping into, our strengths. Lee has such a strength when it comes to the nervous system, all of the main part of the Quantum Leap Intensive, really. And he holds it in a very different way to me also. Like, he's got this beautiful like softness but in this strong, you know, container of Lee. Like, you know, it's beautiful. I fully trust where this is going, and I'm going to be coming into probably more of my strength, which is the primal rhythm, the life force activation, the pleasure principle, the breath, the somatic work, the frequency, the sound, still nervous system alchemy, absolutely, but more from the body. And they're the strategies that I've learned through my experience. They were the gifts that activated in me because of this method that we're sharing with you today. And the thing is that I had to walk that awakening alone. I had no guide, I had no structure, I had no map, I just had raw spiritual initiation. And that's why now this is so beautiful to have this partnership with Lee, to open up the two paths of the mystery school, to be relaunching the Quantum Leap Intensive in 2026, so that you have a path, you have guides, you have structure, you're never going to have a map. But you know, we can help you to navigate what you're going through. Mind, body, soul, all covered, because I don't want you walking this initiation alone. And I want you to step into your soul's purpose. And I want you to know that no, wealth isn't the purpose, but wealth will come in ways that your mind can't even wrap itself around. It's beautiful. It's magical. It's what I wish had been there when I was awakening. a system, a lineage, a community, and a container that can actually hold the voltage of what you're becoming and who you're becoming. Because I'm going to get Lee to like agree or disagree here. You look at like your everyday surroundings, it's like you can't be there anymore. Like you can't have these conversations with the people that you were hanging out with the week before. They'd put you in a straitjacket. So, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
what have you done this week? In the Quantum Leap Intensive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just want to add that even though, like, we've both, obviously they're your tools, right? So you've been through them all. I've been through them all. Like you said before, Phoenix and everyone else has been through all of this training. We all use the same tools, but it's all awakened us differently.
Yes.
That we don't all come out as the same package. We all come out as a different package in our own way, but sharing the same tools, the same gifts, the same understanding that comes from the course. But we're not all, like I said, a certain structure like some other teachings or traditional teachings tend to do.
We break down those walls and those limits. That's the point. And the beautiful thing is that it's not what you become, you know, I'm going to become. So like, you know, there's been different professions that have walked out of the Quantum Leap Intensive, right? I had a yoga instructor walk in and she's walked out, a medicine woman working with plant medicine and hallucinogenics, helping people that way. I had a birth doula come in. She's walked out as like, she's like a globally known now advocator for like uninterrupted birth. But more than that, she works with like the full package of deciding you want a baby to having the baby and having a business. I mean, do you know, it's like that's nuts. We've got I could just, stories just go on and on and on and on and on. There's so many of them. We don't tell you what to be. We make you the person who can stand in that frequency, unshakable leadership, embodiment, and, you know, leading your life in a completely different way, not through force, not through pressure, not through push, through receiving, through allowing things to happen for you, knowing you're a magnet, drawing things towards you. Your frequency creates the form, right? So yeah, I mean, if this is resonating with you, we really do have an incredible opportunity for you to walk with us in 2026, and we're opening a founding circle. We're opening a founding circle where you will be able to access a discount, a significant discount to walk this path with us, where you will have a priority place in this beautiful free experience that it's not a free experience, actually. It's an extremely expensive experience that's taking place in Costa Rica in the middle of next year, but you will get that for free. You will get to be with us in person in Costa Rica for free as part of the founding circle. You'll be able to access the sort of orientation, the first part of the Quantum Leap Intensive before Christmas, straight away. Basically, just get yourself oriented, and you'll be able to spread out the investment for this amazing course across the next 12 months. And we're I was gonna say, and we're particular about who walks this path, right? It has to fit you. You have to fit it. So what we're doing is is calling in expressions of interest at this point. So if you're watching this, there will be a comment, and in the description as well, a link to be able to apply for that expression of interest. We are leading with the founding circle for becoming a guide. You will also get the chance to access the personal mastery. You can just do this for personal mastery. It's a shorter program. It's less guided, more curriculum, digital based, but you can walk through the Quantum Leap method yourself. So there will be access for you to both of those paths, but we're prioritizing that tier 1 of the guide. We're looking for those guides. So if what I've shared tonight, what Lee has shared tonight feels like your next timeline, if your body is just saying yes, if you know you're meant to be held and trained in this frequency, then we are asking you to put your expression of interest in fast. We are going to be putting this out to the whole world, but not immediately. So we would like to put that to you first. And you know, on these sorts of things, your body already knows, right? And then your mind kicks in and tells you all the reasons why you shouldn't. So if this feels like your path, just allow it to be, right? Just take the next step, pick up the next breadcrumb from the universe, submit the expression of interest form. And from there, me or Lee will personally reach out, and we're going to schedule a call with you together, the three of us, to explore if the intensive is actually your next life path. Is there anything that you would like to add on to that?
Just that this course, not only will it awaken who you are, it helps you understand clients better. It helps you understand the best way you can help, like we said before, like what your true power is in how you help others, because that's why, you know, a lot of the guides will be here because they want to help others. So it will help unlock that true power that you have in order to show that, you know, in the best way you can in any session that you deliver with clients in the future.
I would say that 99% of people who have come through the intensive have already been helping people in some way, whether that's as a coach, or, you know, as a yoga teacher, or have that desire to do those things and feel like they need a method, feel the distinction I'd like to say, and we teach this deeply in the course, the distinction between a coach and a quantum coach. There's a big distinction. You know, a coach, I'm trained as a coach, and, you know, and we take you to the ICF standard, International Coaching Federation standard of coaching. But then we show you how you use the quantum approach to coaching, which is very much letting go of the plan. It's that quantum staircase. It's the knowing that, yeah, that coach, and this is how I used to get such phenomenal results, right? I think, what would it be now? 2023, 2 years ago? 2023, 2 years ago, I did a retreat in the September. I invited people into my coaching container that I still had back then. And this couple, they were the most amazing couple, but they were struggling, you know, to get results. And obviously in my retreats, we go deep into the Quantum Leap level method. I used to call them Birth Your Truth. They were 3-day experiences. They were magical. They were online. I then took that in person to my first in-person retreat, which was in Mexico. That was also incredible, all before the shift in me. But, you know, like this couple, after that weekend, they jumped on a call, just like you guys are being invited to jump on a call, and they decided they were going to come into my coaching container. And we went straight into, you know, they'd had that deep inner transformation anyway across the weekend. And then we just worked strategically through a few points. But guess what was different? They were different. Their frequency was different. Their intention was different. Their fear was gone. They made $10,000 in the next 24 hours. I think they filled like almost half a program in 24 hours, right? That's what happens when you move away from traditional coaching and you use the Quantum Leap method. It's incredible. And these retreat experiences are really important, where we go deep. There's no, you know, a week before between sessions. There's no running away from anything. There's no letting the mind kick in. It's intensive. It's beautiful. It's confronting. It's life-changing. And we want to bring this into 2026 as part of the container in Costa Rica, in the jungle, next to this magical river, in the most incredible place. So if this sounds like it is for you, you know, you're at this point, end of 2025. This year has been the year of the snake, the shedding of the skin. Many of us have got to this place where we feel completely bare naked. Right? All the skins come off, and we know that what we're moving into is not where we've come from. If you're looking for an opportunity, and it's an open opportunity like this one, where we're not going to tell you what you become, we're going to walk you through quantum becoming, where you are going to align to what you were always meant to be, then please jump into the caption, into the description of this video, jump on that expression of interest link, apply, and Lee and I will just look so much forward to speaking to you on a call. Okay, are we done?
I think so.
Amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here live, those that are live. And yeah, we will see you soon.
See you, everyone.